I gotta spam refresh this a few times so I can see my beautiful chat. It's gonna be something ever. There we go. I'm going to drain this out. There's some way to do that. Do that. Can I come over here? I'm still setting up stuff. Don't worry, that's just my website stuff. What it is, and nope. No, so sometimes I don't like this, sometimes I do. All depends. Okay, so welcome back to another episode. I think I can shrink this. Hold on, let me just. Okay, so welcome back to my channel. I don't know why I started live streaming and I don't mess it up yet, but that's totally okay. We're just gonna do this real quick. Okay, welcome to my channel. These are old drawings you can see here from our last episode. If you don't know, we talked about fronts, tornadoes, stuff. Okay, so welcome back to another episode. Probably because, or another live stream, I should say. We got some, here's we have Lansing here now. Just want to point out real quick that everything you see here is live right now. Doesn't matter. It is currently 9:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It is 4/24/2025. So, right now, what's happening? Well, nothing. Number one, there's actually nothing drastic on radar, first of all. So on a radar, the only thing I think of is some. So wait, up here and over here. Now, here's a lot of chaos over here. Now, this is the storm I'm interested in, because right here is severe, majorly. Now, I got it. So how severe is the storm? Pretty severe. Because you can see how we got some yellow here. No, you guys can't see that. Got some big. No, this is a pretty big storm. Now, as you probably know, like I said before, big is bad, small is great. Well, like I said before, somewhat not true. I've also remember our quote-unquote tornado unit. We talked about hooks. Currently, there is a hook that. There's a hook there. And right there. And that's pretty much it. So just maybe two hooks. Now, like I said, like I said before, hooks don't mean tornado is actually gonna form. Now, I just want to keep everybody in mind, but this storm may move east. Now, if this storm does move east, what is going to impact? Right there. That's what's going to impact. Impact part of Michigan, North Canada, maybe Clinton, maybe Chicago, Lansing, Detroit, Grand Rapids, etc. Those things that impact if this storm moves east. To make sure that my prediction is true, we can watch our radar. Here we go. Alright, sorry, the storm is kind of moving north, but remember, as the storm moves north, keep this in mind that it does not mean this tail end right here can swing out and hit Michigan. Remember that. But it doesn't mean this thing can disappoint. There's still a chance. There's still a chance the storm does have potential of actually, well, having severe storm. Now, I can talk about Lansing's forecast because you never know what the forecast says. So we're gonna go scroll out. Here's Lansing. Here's Lansing right there. Forecast, please. I said we just everything because I can't see on my radar. There we go. Okay. As I was saying, here is our radar. So our radar today, the 25th, you're going to see some light rain starting from around 4 p.m., around 3 p.m.-ish. Going into pretty much Friday for tonight. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I could be looking at temperature. So I'm going to go down here. Super 12 inch, no precipitation. Orange is 0.12, which is not bad. But coming down here, we got actually coming down all the way down here. So here we go. Let's talk about this. So I want to talk about it real quick. 24th, you're gonna see some sunny, which is the 24th. It's 81 degrees, which that's pretty hot. But then the 25th, temperatures go in the 70s and start dropping into the 60s. By the 28th, temperatures going back in the 70s. In the 30th, it will be decreasing in the 50s. Now remember, the 29th, you can see we're going to have some rain on 29th. Remember, this is for Lansing. So 29th, you're going to see some rain, it appears like. Moderate rain. But then because it's moderate rain, temperatures go back decreasing. And you probably see, if you guys can't read, the first will be 62, 57, 41. Temperatures will be decreasing starting by the 30th. That's where you see temperatures decreasing, pretty much plummeting. But at the same time, the 2nd, which is a prediction, doesn't mean it's true, you're going to have some rain. That is on the 2nd. I think May, I believe. But, yeah. But for now, we're sticking with tomorrow is rain. Now, this prediction, like I said before, predictions are hypothesis. It does not mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's fake. It's like flipping a coin, a 50-50 chance. Now, actually, what am I doing? Let me scroll up here and go bang. Okay, hourly forecast. What's happening here tonight? Well, number one, nothing too drastic for tonight. Like I said, 65 by 10 p.m. today for Lansing. You're going to see some temperatures going into to 60s and going into 60s by 11 p.m. today. Friday, like you see, there's going to be some rain. Temperature will be in the 60s and 50s by 1 a.m. Then, by 10 a.m. Then you're going to see, at 10 a.m. you're going to see temperatures increasing into the 60s and then the 70s, and then decreasing by 4 p.m. 4 p.m. This is where you're going to see some decreasing. But starting from 3 p.m., this is where you're going to see the first sign of rain, stopping around 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now, that's for tomorrow's forecast. But then another rainstorm hits 9 p.m. Now, remember, your temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. By 9 p.m., going all the way into 11 p.m., you're going to see some pretty much a lot of rain. And then 26 Saturday, 56 degrees, so it'll be 34. My prediction coming down here. You see temperatures in the 50s, and then the 27th, Sunday, you're going to see temperatures in the 40s. The high will be 66, the low will be 47 degrees on Sunday the 27th. Now, down here you got 40s, 50s, 60s, and then the temperature, the high will be, 5 p.m. We're going to see the maximum temperature will be 64 degrees. Actually, no, wait. 6 p.m. you're going to see maximum pretty much of 66 degrees in Fahrenheit. 5 miles per hour winds, their prediction. My prediction, their prediction, same thing, which I'm using MSN Weather, which you can double check that.com. And then right around after 6 p.m., then 7 p.m., right around here, 7 p.m., you're going to see your temperatures dropping. Going into the... That was interesting. Go back, please. Go back, please. Where did the HDMI go? HDMI, click that. Okay, very terribly sorry about that. We're gonna keep moving on. Okay, look at my board. Do you not cooperate? No. Now you want to cooperate with me, my board? Here's my board. Read it. Thank you today. Okay, that's weird. I don't have to do this with the laptop, do I? Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Sorry about that. Okay, so 10 p.m. mostly clear. Like I said, temperatures start dropping at 7 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 50s, going to 28th on Monday. You're going to see, like I said, what's wrong with this thing? Okay, for 12 a.m., that will... Stop it. Stop it. At 28th Monday, 75 degree high with 75 degrees. Now this part you're going to see some temperatures increasing. By 12 a.m., everything's going to be in the 40s tonight on Sunday. I mean, the Sunday, 50s and 60s. But when you're going to see the max pretty much in the 70s, is going to be around by... Somewhere around by 2 p.m. 2 p.m. we're going to see some temperatures going up, going into the 70s. Keep that in mind. Remember, you can say anything in the chat, which is right here. Remember, to look at any weather, please do so right in the chat. It'll be displayed. And remember, please do not state your address. When I say your state depends on it, please make sure you state your county or state. Do not state your address, which I should probably just set to right there. Okay. Like I said, temperature will be 75. But then 6 p.m., you're going to see 7 p.m. 6 p.m. you see temperatures dropping into the 60s. Then Tuesday, you're going to see some more rain on Tuesday. Now, this is the part where everything's going to be cold, going to the 70s and 60s. But around... There we go. Around 12 p.m., that's where we're going to see some rain showers. Temperatures still be very high in the 70s. Now, come down here, 70s, but then around this, we're going to see some temperatures at 6 p.m. Still be raining. It will be 60 degrees, and temperatures will be dropping going into 30th, Wednesday. Highs will be 59 degrees. The low will be 41. Okay, I'm going to go back to my radar. So there is your Lansing's forecast. For now, 70 degrees, nice great weather. Go outside, ride a bike. Get outside, do not be on your computer, blah, blah, blah. What do you want to do? I don't care. So, what about the storm? What is going to happen? Well, because everything's kind of going around northeast, but like I said, if I'm looking towards the smart board, east, west, and north and south, I believe. Look at this way. East is to the left, west to the right, north is to back behind me, and south is that way, I believe. Hopefully I got that correctly. If not, I am very sorry. Just make sure. Okay. Okay, we're moving northeast here. That's like I said, this could also impact Mackinac City and pretty much anything above this point right there or higher. So if you're down here, good job, but you're going to see a lot of thunderstorms. Now, keep this in mind. A lot of thunderstorms doesn't mean it could be severe. Please keep that noted. So, down here, what's happening? Well, guess what? We're viewing the weather right there. There's our weather forecast. Actually, do it, change your mind. We're doing the weather right. Yeah, let's view the impacts. So, like I said, because everything's still going northeast, this means it still will affect this. Waterloo, Marshalltown, Cedar Rapids, and I can't read that, whatever that says right there. Rock 4. Gosh. All what I said out last the storm will impact moving to northeast. It may be possibly changing directions if it wants. Like I said, Michigan's unpredictable because we got Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, and Lake Erie controlling all the forests. So Michigan is kind of very unpredictable. So yeah, Mackinac. Let's take a look at this forecast right here for Monroe, Michigan. Okay, so what's happening here? Temperature's 47 degrees. Pretty cold actually up there. Yeah, I can see before at 3 p.m. it's gonna rain. It's 9:23. I don't know if this is probably okay. So divide. So 11 p.m. cloudy 40s, but then on Friday 25th, which you guys can see, it's right there. You're gonna see some rain, and remember this is from Monroe, Michigan. At 3 p.m. you're gonna see some rain. Now, it's gonna be well. How much rain is to be determined by the nature. Okay, this is gonna be nice. 3 p.m. night rain, blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay. Well, starting from 3 p.m. you're gonna see some light rain in the 40s. That is cold, very very cold. Going to 40s and stopping around the 26th Saturday. Tide will be 55, it'll be 30. I do recommend you wear a coat or a jacket. It is going to be cold. And no, it's not below freezing. I wish. But it's not. Okay. Remember, like I said, say anything in this chat. I'll highlight it right here. Displayed. Your name will be displayed. Now, please, like I said, do not state your address. Please state your county or state. Okay. Moving on, I'm going to step down here. So all the storms move northeast, maybe going to the east a little bit, but down here we got some chaos down here. So it appears we have scatter, thunder, storms. Scattered thunderstorms. Well, guess what? Scattered thunderstorms is pretty easy to explain. Oh, please. So let's say scattered thunderstorms. Nope. So scattered. Let me zoom out that. I want to make my font bit. Let me chop it. Font. Okay. Nice and thick. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about scattered thunderstorms. So what are they? Well, guess what? We'll be talking about them now. So sorry about my handwriting. It's part of my handwriting. Scattered thunderstorms. So scattered thunderstorms are scattered. There are thunderstorms that are scattered. That's basically all they are. But keep this in mind. I think that's what my script said. My script says that. Okay, so keep this in mind real quick. Scattered severe thunderstorms usually stay in one area. usually they move sometimes. They actually do move state 1 area. I'm going to say that. -1. Usually like to turn around and kind of, let's say, move. You can say that. That noted. Okay. Move on from that. Yep, get scattered. Those from his current one area. So those probably scattered. They're all scattered. Storms happening. That's pretty interesting. And now we can view our severe weather. Now, our severe weather just basically kind of means our. I'm running. Sorry about that. It kind of usually scattered. Sorry, severe. Severe weather usually just means warnings. So a lot of people are just discussing warnings. So first of all, one, I know around this area, in here we're gonna have. Here, just ignore that message. I was just reading it. So over here, down here, we got our, damn, I lost my train of thought. My train of thought derailed. Small craft advisory. There we go. Small craft. Now, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. AD, like I said before, we don't use AD in weather. That is the unfortunate part. If we did, I'll make my life easier, but we don't use AD in weather anymore. In fact, anymore, we'll never use it. And the rest of the weather career. Logically speaking, so what does AD? I use that acronym. That is an acronym for me. Now, because I don't want to spell AD. So, what is AD? No. AD equals advisory. AD saves me so much time, so I use AD basically for the rest of my life. Actually, no, that's what that means. Now, is there anything else? No, there's not. But down here, okay, like I said, I always have that question for you. I will say it again. I recommend saying it right here if you have a YouTube account. If you have a YouTube account, you could probably say it in the chat. So, like I said before, down here is your severe weather warning stuff, and down here is your mild weather, which severe means you don't have to worry about it, which it's a current statement. Okay, so my question is this for you. Should that be mild, keep it as mild, moderate, severe, extreme? I'll probably do moderate because, like, rip currents are dangerous. Like I said before, rip currents are extremely dangerous. They can suck you out to sea, no problem, and you'll never be to sea again. The end. There you go. That's what rip currents are. And down here during Key West, we got a small craft advisory. I'm forgetting my weather terms now. Over here, we got a giant row. Like I said, storms tend to love to do this. One storm. But I'm not doing it down here. I'll do it down here. Oh, nope, that's my pen. One storm or storms can make damage severe. And to make things even worse, I'm gonna do that. They can make a row. They can make a row. That's a W. Row of warnings. Now, what do I mean by that row of warnings? Well, what I'm trying to say is that one storm can do that all the way going down to Jackson, Mississippi. I'm kidding. To Mississippi. Okay, flood warning, like I said, these are severe. These are your tips. Also, if you find any more information, please take the .gov session. But remember, use credible sources like .gov or .usa, .uk, .edu, .org. Please use all of these. These are credible sources. Yeah, you're welcome. These are all your sources. Please use them. Either minus.com. My website is, it's totally fine, which you go to MEW.com, which I will type in the chat before I go. Oh, we got to moderate weather over here. Appears to be right here. A small craft. And small craft over here too. So we got 2 small craft advisories and a bunch of other warnings right here. Now, like I said, California's pretty. Got my pen again. California is pretty typical. Just keep that in mind. So you get some warnings, especially in Alaska, where it appears we have maybe a rip current statement and maybe small craft advisory. Going into Russia. Russia is the biggest country. Trust me. If you look at the internet and be like, it says something else, technically. Okay. Technically, this is all right here, logically, USSR. Or also known as today, Russia. If you did not know that, USSR is also known as Russia, which USSR has been a long time ago, but now that turned into Russia as a country, which I don't recommend going there, and I blocked them from using my website in China so they don't spam me, and I don't want China to contact my work. That made. But yeah, we're going to, here's Russia again. We go all the way through. Now, Russia's pretty much the biggest country. I admit it. Okay? If you don't believe me, look up on the internet, use .org.edu, and repeat that. Okay. What else can I talk about? Okay, well, I want to talk about one more thing. I guess I'll have to end this because my laptop. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, we got some earthquakes, pretty typical, like I said before. Bread is, here's your map key. Here's your map key. Right there. Now, your map key, red is bad, yellow is moderate, and green is, you can't do anything. And you don't care. But first of all, there's yellow, moderate. Green, doesn't care. That's good, picture it. And can't. Now remember, like I said before, they could produce a tsunami, which could probably infect the whole coast. Now, because it's probably moderate, it doesn't really matter. Not necessarily. It doesn't really matter. But over to the west, you got some earthquakes, earthquake. Everything's in the green. Nothing too drastic. Now, yeah, nothing too drastic. And I'm just going to double check. I covered everything, which I did. Covered everything. Very, hopefully, short video, it appears. I don't know if it was short or not, but it was short to me. Alright, that's it. See you guys tonight or tomorrow. And remember, the last broadcast was 424 at 9:37. All right, see you guys tomorrow.